The Chosen Season 6 trailer just gave us our first real glimpse of what's coming, and yes, it's the Crucifixion. Blurry behind-the-scenes photos and early footage show Jesus in chains, dressed in the purple robe of mockery, walking through the chaos that will end in his death. It's raw, it's painful, and it's going to break us. This isn't just another season, it's the season where everything changes. The one we've been dreading and longing for all at once. Because this time, it's not just a story, it's the moment. The betrayal, the suffering, the end, and the beginning. If you thought past seasons were emotional, Season 6 is going to shake your soul. The Chosen Season 6 has already entered production, and the emotional intensity is unlike anything this cast and crew have experienced before. While Dallas Jenkins and the team are keeping many things under wraps, the leaks are beginning to surface, and they point to one thing: the Crucifixion is at the center of it all. This isn't a dramatization of some vague moment in time, it's the recreation of one of the most agonizing events in history, and the leaked trailer footage has confirmed it. Photos from the set show Jesus dressed in the infamous purple robe, his hands bound, surrounded by Roman guards, his eyes filled with pain yet steady. The early reactions from people who've seen the leak are unanimous. It's devastating. It's the kind of footage that lingers in your chest long after it ends. But what really makes this moment so chilling isn't just the visual, it's the emotional weight behind it. Every season of The Chosen has led to this. Every miracle, every parable, every confrontation with the Pharisees. It all builds to this one point. And now, we're finally standing at the edge. According to those close to the production, filming these scenes has taken a toll on everyone involved. Extras and crew members have described the atmosphere on set as heavy and spiritually exhausting. Raza Jaffrey, who plays Philip, recently said this season will be difficult to watch, but not because it's bad, because it's too real. It's a painful season, he said, and some people might find it hard to get through, but it's also the most important one. That honesty is striking, because when actors start feeling the weight of their roles off-screen, you know something powerful is happening, and it's not just the crucifixion scene that's stirring emotions. The leak reveals snippets of Jesus being led through Jerusalem in front of angry crowds. The tension, even in grainy photos, is unbearable. You can almost hear the jeers, the confusion, the heartbreak of those who followed him and can't believe what's happening. For fans who've walked with these characters, from Season 1, this is going to be deeply personal. We've seen the joy, the laughter, the meals shared between friends. And now we're watching the betrayal, the fear, the silence before the storm. The crucifixion is no longer a distant event. It's suddenly now. And the actors are not playing roles anymore. They're stepping into something sacred and terrifying all at once. Dallas Jenkins is directing every episode himself this season. That's not just a creative choice. It's a necessity. Season 6 demands consistency, control, and above all, care. Jenkins knows what this season means to the audience. He knows how high the emotional stakes are, and he's making sure every frame carries that weight. According to behind-the-scenes updates, he's also ensuring that the cast and crew have time to rest, pray, and process what they're creating. That level of mindfulness is rare in any production, and it shows how serious they are about doing this, right? This isn't just TV. For the people making it, and for millions of us watching it, it's something far deeper. Even the schedule reflects how monumental this season is. The first 6 episodes are set to release in 2026, but the finale won't come until later, and it's being planned as a global theatrical event. That's right. The final episode won't just drop online, it'll be a cinematic experience, shared in theaters around the world. Jenkins is calling it a moment for people to come together, to grieve, to reflect, and to witness. He's warned fans not to expect the usual timeline or updates, because with something this emotional and massive, rushing would only ruin it. And honestly, that makes sense. Season 6 is not the kind of story you speed through. It's the kind you live with. The kind that leaves a mark. And maybe that's the point. This isn't just another chapter in The Chosen. It's the heartbreak before the resurrection, the silence before the miracle, the pain before the light breaks through. It's Jesus walking toward the cross, and we're walking with him. As the leaked trailer spreads, fans are beginning to realize just how brutal and heartbreaking this season will be. The Chosen has never shied away from raw emotion, but this is something else entirely. One photo from the set, blurry and distant, shows Jesus stumbling under the weight of the cross. His face is almost unrecognizable, bloodied and broken, but even in that state, there's a haunting calm in his expression. And that one image, just that, has sent shockwaves through the fanbase, because we all know what's coming, and yet nothing truly prepares us for it. These scenes aren't fictionalized for entertainment. They're rooted in the most sacred, painful, and powerful moment in Christian history. For many, watching this season will feel like losing a friend, like watching someone you love suffer, knowing there's nothing you can do to stop it. And what makes this season even more devastating is the sense of helplessness. The disciples who once stood boldly at Jesus' side begin to fracture, their faith tested, their loyalty strained. And we, the audience, are forced to witness their confusion and heartbreak unfold. Judas's betrayal becomes more than a Bible story. It becomes personal. The trailer hints at this with sharp, quick cuts. Judas alone in the dark, a coin dropping to the ground, his face twisted in guilt. That's what The Chosen does so well. It doesn't just show us what happened, it pulls us into the minds of those who lived it. And in Season 6, we are going to feel the full weight of every decision, every mistake, every moment of silence when someone could have spoken up but didn't. The emotional toll isn't limited to just the audience. Multiple cast members have spoken about the difficulty of shooting these scenes, and it's clear that this season is pushing everyone to their limits. Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus, has carried the emotional heart of the series from the beginning. But now, his role demands something even deeper. He's no longer just portraying a teacher or a healer. He's portraying a man abandoned, mocked, beaten, and killed. And that shift changes everything. According to insiders, there were moments on set where filming had to stop. Not because of technical issues, but because the emotional atmosphere became too overwhelming. Crew members reportedly cried during takes. Extras stepped out to collect themselves. It's not just a performance, it's a burden. And yet, it's one they are willing to carry because they know how much this story matters. Dallas Jenkins is making sure this story is told with reverence and truth. He's walking a tightrope between historical accuracy, spiritual depth, and emotional realism. And somehow, he's managing to balance it all. The trailer leak shows just a fraction of what's to come, but that fraction is enough to tell us. Season 6 will be remembered, not for the production design or even the impressive acting, but for how it made us feel. There's something sacred about that. Because The Chosen isn't just recreating events, it's inviting us to live through them. And when the crucifixion arrives on screen, it won't feel like a distant moment in history. It'll feel like it's happening now, right in front of us, with the same terror, confusion, sorrow, and ultimately the same hope. Fans are already bracing themselves. Social media is filled with emotional reactions to the leak. Some heartbroken, some in awe. Many say they're preparing to watch this season slowly, intentionally, with space to process between episodes. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. Not hype, not noise, but real, soul-shaking storytelling. And while the resurrection will come eventually, this season isn't rushing toward it. It's letting us sit in the dark first, letting us feel the pain that came before the miracle, because only then can we understand the full weight of what was given. What hits hardest in this season isn't just the crucifixion itself. It's the silence around it. The moments where everyone who followed Jesus starts to fall apart. The leaked trailer gives us just a taste of this breakdown. Peter, once so full of fire, looks lost. Mary Magdalene is seen collapsing to the ground in tears. Even Matthew, the logical one, seems paralyzed by fear. These characters have walked with Jesus for years. They've seen miracles, heard every word he spoke, and still, when the cross comes into view, their faith begins to crack. And that's where The Chosen Season 6 is going to devastate us, because it forces us to confront something we'd rather not admit. Even the strongest believers sometimes break. Even the closest disciples didn't know how to carry the weight of what was happening. And in that, we see our own weakness reflected right back at us. There's a haunting tension in the air that you can feel just from the leaked scenes. The kind of stillness before a storm, when you know something unthinkable is coming and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Dallas Jenkins isn't just telling the story of the crucifixion, he's dragging us into the heartbreak leading up to it. He wants us to live in those final days and feel the desperation, the confusion, the growing darkness. One brief glimpse from the trailer shows Roman soldiers tightening their grip on the city. Another shows Simon the Zealot pacing, almost frantic, as if he's trying to find a way to fix the unfixable. And all of it builds toward one inevitable truth. Jesus is going to die. Not because he was defeated, but because this was the plan. That reality, that unbearable tension, is what Season 6 is built around. And then there's Judas. The trailer leak doesn't show much, but what it does show is enough to stir outrage and heartbreak. A brief clip reveals him in the shadows, his face full of conflict, staring down at the bag of silver coins. There's no dialogue, just silence. But that silence says everything. Because by the time we reach the crucifixion, his choice will already be made. And viewers are going to be forced to grapple with a question that's always haunted this story. Why? Why did he do it? Was it greed, fear, or something deeper? The Chosen won't give us easy answers. Instead, it will sit us in that pain and ask us to look deeper, not just into Judas's heart, but our own. That's the brilliance of the writing. It never lets us stay comfortable. And let's not forget Jesus. He's quieter this season, more solemn. And yet every look, every word carries a weight that's almost unbearable. According to insiders who've seen parts of the script, his scenes leading up to the crucifixion are some of the most emotionally raw moments the show has ever produced. There's a sense that he knows what's coming, and he carries it not with panic, but with sorrow and strength. That duality is what breaks us. Because even though we know the resurrection is on the other side of this, watching him suffer, watching him walk toward death with no resistance, knowing he's doing it for everyone else, it tears you apart. And still, he walks. Everything about the leaked trailer confirms what fans suspected. This isn't just the darkest chapter of The Chosen. It's the most personal. It's the moment we've been dreading and yet can't look away from. The pain, the betrayal, the silence of God. It's all here. Season 6 isn't afraid to break you. In fact, it's counting on it. Because only through that heartbreak can the full beauty of what Jesus did truly be understood. This season isn't just storytelling. It's a journey into grief. And through it, into hope. What's truly staggering is how The Chosen Season 6 is making even the quietest moments feel like thunder. This isn't just about the spectacle of the crucifixion, it's about the way the world seems to pause as Jesus inches closer to the cross. In the leaked footage, there are glimpses of disciples simply looking at each other in silence, but behind that silence is panic, regret, guilt. And that's where this season's power lies, not in the action, but in the emotional collapse of those left behind. We're going to witness Simon Peter wrestle with his denial before it even happens. We'll see the fear in his eyes, the way he starts backing away, confused and ashamed. Not because he doesn't love Jesus, but because he can't make sense of what's happening. It's the unraveling of a man who once said he'd die for his Messiah, and yet will run when the time comes. There's also something haunting about the way the crowd transforms. In earlier seasons, people were pushing in, reaching out, begging Jesus for healing. But in Season 6, the crowd is shifting. Less miracles, more murmurs. The same people who once cried Hosanna will soon cry crucify him. And that reversal is terrifying. It forces us to ask what loyalty really looks like. Were they ever truly with him? Or were they just in love with what he could give them? That question isn't just for the crowd, it's for us too. What do we do when God stops answering the way we expect? Do we stay or do we turn away? This season is going to hold up a mirror, and not all of us are going to like what we see. Meanwhile, Mary, the mother of Jesus, is almost completely absent from the leaked footage, which is more chilling than if she was shown. Because we know she's coming, and when she does appear, it'll be with a kind of quiet devastation that's impossible to prepare for. Imagine being a mother, watching your son willingly walk toward his death, knowing he could stop it, but won't. That weight is unimaginable. And when her pain finally breaks through in the show, it's going to shatter everyone watching. The writers aren't rushing to show her for a reason. They're saving that heartbreak for a moment so raw, so deeply human, that it will silence the audience. She's not just a supporting character anymore. She's about to become the emotional core of this entire season. The leaked trailer also hints at a shocking change in tone. Gone is the playful banter, the lighthearted moments we've loved in past seasons. There's no room for jokes in Gethsemane, no laughter at the trial. Instead, there's weight in every word, every step, every breath. Even the music in the background of the trailer is different. Slower, heavier, almost funereal. It feels like the show is grieving in real time, and we're grieving with it. Every detail, from the muted colors to the weary expressions on the disciples' faces, is carefully crafted to remind us that we're not just watching history, we're standing inside of it. And what's maybe most devastating of all is that no one, not even the most faithful, fully understands what's about to happen. That's the tragedy of faith in real time. You don't get the benefit of knowing how the story ends. You just have to believe in the dark. And that's exactly where Season 6 lives, in the dark night of the soul. Jesus will walk alone. The disciples will scatter. The world will go quiet. And in that silence, our hearts will break. As we reach the final stretch of what's been leaked and whispered about Season 6, one truth becomes painfully clear. This season will leave a scar, a sacred, unforgettable scar. Because what lies ahead is not just Jesus' crucifixion, it's the unraveling of every hope the disciples had, the collapse of every plan, the quiet death of certainty. And yet, in that devastation, the Chosen is preparing to do something extraordinary. It's going to show us that even when it looks like everything is lost, something holy is being born in the background. That's why this season is being described as the hardest yet, and also the most necessary. We're not just watching Jesus die. We're watching the old world fall apart to make way for something no one could have imagined. A kingdom that doesn't look like a throne. It looks like a cross. Dallas Jenkins understands this more than anyone. He knows the responsibility he's carrying with this season. That's why he's directing every episode himself. Not just for creative control, but because this story can't be handed off. It demands everything. His leadership is what's holding this season together emotionally and spiritually, and the cast clearly trusts him with their most vulnerable performances. Yet, you can feel it in the way they speak about the experience. For many of them, it's not just acting anymore. It's become a form of worship, a way of surrendering to the story that changed the world. And still, there's a storm of silence around one character, Judas. The leaked trailer refuses to show his face clearly. It's almost as if the story itself can't bear to look at him yet, but we all know what's coming. The betrayal, the kiss, the guilt, the end. And when it happens, it's going to cut deep, because the Chosen hasn't painted Judas as a monster. They've shown him as one of us, flawed, hopeful, desperate to belong. That's what makes his fall so tragic. He loved Jesus, but he didn't understand him. And that's the warning this season carries. What happens when our version of faith doesn't survive reality? The crucifixion isn't the end of the show, but it's the end of something. The end of control, the end of comfort, the end of the way things used to be. What rises from the ashes will change everything, but we're not there yet. First, we have to walk through the fire, and the Chosen is making sure we feel every step. The blurred images of Jesus in chains, the disciples hiding in fear, the quiet collapse of hope. It's all leading to the moment that changed history. And we, as viewers, are not meant to watch from a distance. We're meant to feel it, to break with it, and eventually to rise with it. So when the trailer officially drops, don't expect entertainment. Expect confrontation. Expect to be undone. Because this isn't just television, it's a sacred retelling of the most painful and powerful story ever told. And it will ask something of you. It will challenge what you believe. It will shake your comfort. But maybe that's exactly what it's meant to do. This is the chosen Season 6, and it will break you, so it can rebuild you. If you want more emotional breakdowns, exclusive leaks, and weekly updates on The Chosen Season 6, don't forget to like and follow. Until then, the cross is coming, and nothing will be the same again.